This is Yankees baseball on My 9.
On a gorgeous Friday evening in New York City, we've got ourselves a pennant race. Only one game separates the Yankees and the Orioles as we go into the final week and a half of the season. It is time for baseball as My 9 presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Oakland Athletics in the first of three from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Ken Singleton and Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees have won 5 in a row. They just swept the Toronto Blue Jays in yesterday. They got some hitting, and they got enough pitching to win the game.
Yeah, the offense came alive. Particularly Ichiro had a great series against the Toronto Blue Jays, and he had a good night last night. Ichiro, well, this one's not coming back. It's a home run into the lower deck, and in the very next inning, he got it going again. With the bases loaded, this is going to be a 2-run double. But the big blow of the inning was the grand slam off the bat of Nick Swisher. Swisher's 3rd grand slam of the year. He's got more than anybody in the league as the Yankees blew out the Toronto Blue Jays.
All right, what's happening in the 5-game winning streak? The average isn't that high, and they're only scoring about 5 runs a game. Home runs, just 1 per game. The ERA is pretty good at 3.40, and the pitchers are holding the opponents to a .210 batting average. Speaking of pitching, tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. Jared Parker is going to go for the A's. He's 11-8 with a 3.51, and CC Sabathia gets start for the Yankees, 13-6, 3.63. Paul, he's the Yankee ace, but he has not been pitching like that lately.
He has not been his typical self. There's no doubt about it. You see, it's not an overpowering fastball, and it's getting a lot of the plate, and those usually end up in the bleachers. A couple of his last starts, he's given up home runs. He hasn't been your typical, I'll go give you 7 or 8 innings and go to the bullpen. He's given them some length, but he has not been himself. He has not won in the month of September. The Yankees go as far as their pitching, and right now, CC Sabathia needs a big start.
They need him to be the ace, especially against this team. What is this team about? No one expected them to be in a pennant race, and they're in just that. We'll try to explore why when we return right here on My 9. Baseball, everybody. Let's find out about the Oakland A's. They're the best team that you don't know about. 85-64. They were short of their first winning season since 2006, tied with Baltimore for the wild card. They're 42-21 since the All-Star break. Best record in the league, 14-3 in their last 17 one-run games, and that includes 4 straight right after the All-Star break against the Yankees. 13 walk-off wins, and the team ERA is 3.50. Pretty good stuff right there, and the Yankees begin a 3-game set against them tonight. That's Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Paul O'Neill will rejoin us in just a moment. What do you make of this team?
Well, the first time the Yankees saw the A's was out in Oakland. That was back in May, and the Yankees swept a 3-game series, but it was a different team the second time around when the Yankees went out there in July, Michael. The Yankees were swept 4 games. They lost all 4 games by 1 run, and that's really kick-started the A's in the second half of the season. You saw it. They have the best record in the league, and they are tied for the wild card lead.
It should be a very interesting series with playoff ramifications, as you know. Let's see how CC does tonight when we come back. Lineups, first pitch, baseball coming up next, right here on My 9. Audi Truth and Engineering. Colin Calgill is the leadoff hitter. Johnny Gomes at DH will bat second. Josh Redkin right will hit third. You've got Cespedes, Carter, and Donaldson, and Norris, Drew, and Rosales, and we are ready for baseball here in the Bronx. Let's do it. The first pitch is a strike, and we are underway.
Kenny, did you notice that Michael was running out of time before the first pitch, so he just dropped the first names? I'd have been flustered.
He's a pro.
True pro.
Those are the numbers on Sabathia in 25 starts, 13 and 6, 3.63, the 0-1. Missed inside.
Well, let's take a look at the pitcher scouting report brought to you by Honda. Visit your Honda dealer right now for great deals. Only a Honda is a Honda. Last win, August 24th. He's given up 9 runs in his last 13 innings, and I think the problem has been fastball command. He's got to get it where he wants to. He's working too hard to get his outs. Usually you see CC cruise during the course of the game.
In your career, there's this, it's kind of like you lose your rhythm of the season because, you know, you're on the disabled list a couple of times and you feel good. It's just that you've lost the rhythm of the season, and he just does not seem himself lately because he's so good this time of year. That's what you're expecting to see.
What you expect to see from CC is he's going to go deep into ball games. He keeps his pitch count down because he gets outs easy. Early in counts, he'll get that ground ball to short. When he needs a strikeout, he can strike somebody out. But it hasn't been the case lately, and we'll see if he can bounce back tonight against these Oakland A's. A good team.
Now, Calgill has pretty good success against left-handed pitching, 13 for 30. 13 for his last 30 against lefties. 270 overall. A's coming to 85 and 64. Best record since 2006, and they're a 41 and 33 team on the road. 2-2 to Calgill.
Well, one reason Calgill's in there tonight, he does play against left-handed pitching, but Coco Crisp is usually in center field. There's Bob Melvin, and he, along with Buck Showalter, I think the leading candidates for manager of the year in the American League. Buck Showalter of the Orioles, of course.
And you got to throw in Robin Ventura for some consideration.
Yes, you do.
Of the White Sox. Here's the 2-2 to Calgill. Swing and a miss. Got him. Toss to first. The put out is made there. 1 out. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense. In the outfield, you've got Ichiro in left, Granderson in center, Swisher over right. Infield, it's A-Rod, Nunez, is the shortstop tonight. Derek Jeter will DH. Cano at second. Eric Chavez at first. Russell Martin behind the plate. And Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound. Here's Johnny Gomes. He's been one of the veteran presence for this team. They signed 3 significant free agents during the offseason. Bartolo Colon, who's been suspended for PED use. Manny Ramirez, who decided to retire when he wasn't called up from the minors. And Johnny Gomes. And Johnny Gomes has actually done a pretty good job for them.
Yeah, he's been excellent. He usually plays against the lefties as well. Bob Melvin institutes some platooning. 10 of his 16 homers against left-handed pitching. And I'll tell you, Paul, he's as strong as ever. I shook his hand before the game.
He's the same player. He played a couple years in Cincinnati, and I watched him on the highlights. Doesn't cut it down. He's going for the fence every time up.
Tonight's closed captioning brought to you by Lexus, introducing a stunning work of technology, the entirely new Lexus ES. Now, he is the sage veteran in a very young clubhouse, and he said he's glad that he can do for this team what Tino Martinez and Fred McGriff did for him when he was with Tampa Bay. He said he had a locker right next to Tino and would ask him all these questions. He said, now these kids are asking me the same questions that I asked Tino. The 1-2. 2-2.
I used to ask Tino a lot of questions. There's Coco Chris.
And Coco's got the shades on. He's got a case of pink eye and can't play. Isn't it contagious?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Let's keep him down there.
The 2-2. 3-2.
Night vision glasses on you.
They were hoping he'd be able to play in tonight's game, but obviously not able to go. Here's the payoff. And Johnny Gomes walks. New York Yankees baseball is broadcast in Spanish. It's available by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Toyota. When you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota.
Josh Reddick, one of their true power hitters. 29 home runs on the year.
Yeah, that leads the team.
Swing and a miss.
CCC, you could tie a left-handed hitter up with that two-seamer that runs back in on his hands. But can't get to that. What is it about Oakland? I don't know if it's they're close to Haight-Ashbury or what, but they always come out with the beards and funky hairdos.
Might be a West Coast thing.
Yeah.
Or you can go back to the days when Reggie was out there and Sal Bando.
Raleigh Fingers had the mustache.
Yeah. Catfish Hunter. He's got Jamal Weeks.
1-1. Drilled deep to right field. If it's fair, it's gone. Foul ball. Just missed the pole.
It just breaks your heart as a left-handed hitter there, Kenny. I mean, you know you're facing a tough lefty, and you get a pitch that you can handle, and he's just a little quick. Just pulls it foul.
Yeah, I mentioned Reddick leads the team in home runs. You could see that one on the wrong side of the pole as far as he was concerned. Since 1992, only one A's outfielder has hit more than 28 home runs besides Reddick. And that was Matt Stairs. He hit 38 home runs in 1999.
And, if you think about it, Oakland is not a great home run hitter's ballpark. Once it gets cool there at night, very tough park. I mean, it's been changed. The old park was even deeper, but once it gets cool late at night there, the ball doesn't carry very well.
Now, did it get better or worse when they built Mountain Davis for the Raiders?
Oh, it's a much better hitter's park now.
Really, with that up?
Well, the gaps are a lot closer, and a lot of the home runs are hit there, but still cool at night.
Even so, the A's pitchers have given up the fewest home runs in the league.
92. It'll be interesting to see how they fare at this ballpark for 3 games. foul ball.
So there's 2 strikes. You really have to try to stay in there off lefties because you can't give up that outside slider. And CC knows it. He goes in with that fastball. Just can't get to it unless you're kind of cheating.
Well, you see the pitch that he hit there. The only thing you can do with it is pull it foul.
You talked about it, Kenny. I mean, already you look. I mean, CC's ready to throw his 19th pitch.
Yeah.
You know, you've had a walk and a couple tough at bats. Right, he's just not getting any really easy outs right now.
Line drive, foul ball.
I think for when he's really rolling like he had been 2 years ago and maybe even last year, he was one of the pitchers who was among the leaders in 1, 2, 3 innings. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, go right through the order, get back in the dugout. He was up there with the likes of the best pitchers in the league in that category, and that's when you can keep your pitch count there.
The 1-2. Check the swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. So Reddick down on strikes. Second strikeout. Second out.
So all those pitches inside set up the one away. When you're up there, Paul, I think you figure, when's he going to go away? I'm going to be ready. No, it's too far outside, but I still went for it.
And all of a sudden, in the middle of a windup, that inside fastball kind of creeps in your mind, and you open up to it. And as soon as you open that front shoulder, that's what happens on that breaking ball away.
He's muttering to himself.
And what you're muttering about is not what the pitch that you struck out on. It's the pitches that you fouled off before. A couple hanging breaking balls, one pulled foul, and then one pulled into the bleachers foul. Those are the pitches that you're mad about.
Sabathia deals a strike to Yoenis Cespedes. He's having a very nice rookie year. 293, 19 homers, and 73 runs batted in. He is from Cuba.
This guy has some kind of power. The A's play a lot better. He's had some injuries, been on the disabled list. And you can see what he's done against the Yankees this year. 467. The first time the Yankees played them in May, he was out of the lineup with a wrist injury. But he was back in there in July. And he had that series where he had a couple of home runs.
Kenny, they're 73 and 42 when he plays, and they're 12 and 22 when he doesn't.
Yep. I'll tell you what he means to the club.
In that first series, the Yankees swept the A's 3 games, and in the second series, the A's swept the Yankees 4 games.
They have statistics not only for the whole league, but they have rookie statistics that they put out. In all the offensive rookie statistics, the leader is Mike Trout. And just about all of them, Cespedes is second.
1-2. Swing and a miss. In the dirt, and Cespedes down on strikes, and CC Sabathia rings up 3 strikeouts here in the first. The A's strand 1. It's the A's nothing, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. The ultimate driving machine by McDonald's. Try the Daily Double, only $1.99 at McDonald's. 2 100% beef patties topped with American cheese, lettuce, tomato, and mayo. And by Verizon Fios, introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed. Internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. Look at New York City on a Friday night. Good first inning for CC Sabathia. Now Jared Parker takes the mound, and we will take a look at the Yankees starting lineup. Brought to you by McDonald's. Try the Daily Double for only $1.99 at McDonald's. 200% beef patties topped with American cheese, lettuce, tomato, and mayo. The DH, the captain, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second, right fielder Nick Swisher. Robinson Cano at second will hit third. Third baseman Alex Rodriguez cleans up. At center field, it's Curtis Granderson who'll bat fifth. Batting sixth behind the plate, Russell Martin. The first baseman, Eric Chavez, bats seventh. The number 8 hitter is the red-hot left fielder, Ichiro Suzuki, and Eduardo Nunez, the shortstop, will bat ninth.
The right-hander is Jared Parker, just 23 years old, and he's 1-0 in his career against the Yankees.
Jeter carries a 14-game hitting streak into tonight's game, and he swings at the first pitch and grounds it to short. Drew across the diamond. One away.
See the numbers on Parker for the year. He is a rookie right-hander. He's made 26 starts, got a good record, 11-8. Very good ERA. You can see less than a hit per inning. 58 walks, 119 strikeouts. Let's take a look at the Oakland A's pitcher scatter report, brought to you by Lexus, introducing a stunning work of technology, the entirely new Lexus ES. This is his first look at Yankee Stadium, first ever time he's been here. 4 wins and 1 loss in his last 6 starts. He's only given up 9 home runs all season long, and only 2 to right-handed batters, Casper Wells and Adam Jones. Wells of Seattle and Jones of Baltimore.
Swisher swings at the first pitch and grounds it to Carter. 2 outs, 2 pitches, 2 outs. So he's on a 27-pitch pace. Here's the A's defense. You've got Cespedes, Calgill, and Reddick left to right in the outfield. Josh Donaldson will play third. Stephen Drew, they got him from the Diamondbacks. He's at second. Adam Rosales is the second baseman. Chris Carter at first. Derek Norris is behind the plate. Jared Parker is on the mound.
You know, if you're hitting third here and you're Robbie Cano, it stinks because you gotta go. You know you got to take the first pitch. The pitcher knows you've got to take it. He's got 2 outs and 2 pitches. He's going to throw a fastball right down the middle, and you just got to watch it just to make him throw a pitch.
And that's what happens.
Strike one, great. Thanks, guys. Huh?
All right. So trying to hop back over that 300 mark.
The 0-1. 0-2, throwing nothing but strikes.
One thing you saw from Parker out in Oakland, he's got an excellent changeup. He beat the Yankees on July 21st, went 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, struck out 5. The A's won that game 2-1. One of the 4 games that they won by 1 run. That was an exciting series from the standpoint, not from a Yankee standpoint at the end of the games, but during the course of those games, each one of those games could have turned on 1 pitch or 1 play.
Brandon McCarthy, who got hit in the head. They have his jersey up in the dugout. He actually came to visit the A's. They had a 3-game homestand recently, so he's out of the hospital and he's doing okay. Got hit in the head with a comebacker. Had to have surgery to remove pressure from the brain, and they're hoping that he'll be able to come back at some point next year. Also an important player for them. And they lose left-hander Brett Anderson as well with an oblique pull. He's out for the remainder of the regular season. As Robinson Cano swings and misses, and that will do it. The Yankees go down in order. So in the first inning, it's been the pitchers. 0-0. Chris Carter leads off. most in a possible playoff matchup? Is it A, the A's, B, the Orioles, C, the Rangers, D, the Tigers, and E, the White Sox? Text A, B, C, D, or E to 70377 or go to my9tv.com. Find out the results right after the game. It's Take on Ross, brought to you by Toyota. Chris Carter takes a strike from CC Sabathia as we start the second inning. No score on the Time Warner Cable scoreboard. Enjoy all the things you love. You love better. TV, internet, and home phone from Time Warner Cable.
It's funny, Kenny, if you looked at that text poll that we just had.
Carter pops one up. Chavez, the call on the catch.
And if you had the Yankee players answer that, you'd get a completely different answer from the everyday players and from the pitchers. Because the pitchers would want to, the lineup they can get through. Yeah. The hitters would want to go, oh, these guys got no pitching. So you get completely different answers.
All of those are pretty good teams. Yeah. We shouldn't be surprised if CC Sabathia has a good strikeout night, because the A's batters lead the major leagues in strikeouts. They just got through in Detroit, struck out 32 times in 3 games.
The funny thing is, they've already broken the franchise record.
Yeah.
So every night they come out here, every strikeout they have, they're adding to their record. They're breaking a record every single night right now. And they're having a great year.
Well, they're hitting home runs in the second half. Chili Davis is their hitting coach, the former Yankee. We were talking to Chili before the game. And we know he's the easygoing guy. I guess you strike out so many if you're hitting your share of home runs. Here's Chili. Best switch hitters ever.
One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, too. I came out today. I felt like I haven't seen Chili probably in, 7, 8 years. And after about 5 minutes of talking, it's like I'd never left. You're right back into the locker room. You're right back into big games. Do you remember this hit? And I'm like, yeah, I remember that hit. And it was pretty cool. I haven't seen Chili in a long time.
The 1-2. Donaldson wraps one to left field. Ichiro makes the running catch. Good jump by Ichiro.
Well, Ichiro has shown off his speed, particularly in the Toronto series. He showed it on the bases. Now he shows it in the outfield. Nice running catch. That ball was hit hard by Donaldson. And looked like it might have been hooking away from him a bit. You see the concentration. Reaches forward with the glove, and the ball disappears right in it.
Big thing about Ichiro, you see that play running towards the line, reaching across your body. He's a natural right fielder. We all know that, where your glove hand is going towards the line. Much easier playing right field than left.
Derek Norris pops one up left field. Ichiro is there, and he makes the play as the A's go down in order. 1-2-3. We're going to the bottom of the second inning. Alex Rodriguez will lead it off. There's no score right now. Save big at Nissan's Bottom Line Sales Event. Ends October 1st. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer. September 21st, 2008, the Yankees defeat the Orioles 7-3 in the final game played at Old Yankee Stadium.
Molina hit a home run that day, wasn't it? Wasn't that the last home run?
Last home run. No score on the Time Warner Cable scoreboard. So A-Rod steps in, and it's Jared Parker. Well, they're jumping on the first pitch, 3 of the first 4 batters.
I think with Parker and what the Yankees saw in Oakland is that his ability to get ahead on counts, he's going to throw strikes and then work you over with the changeup. I don't think we want to see that pitch.
I've said it many times, Kenny. There's a lot of guys, and as a hitter, you go up there, you're not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. You don't feel like he has a pitch that he can get by, a strikeout pitch, and this guy does. I mean, that changeup of his is really good, so you don't want to get in those 2-strike counts where you're guessing along.
There's pitching coach Kurt Young. The A's have a very young pitching staff. A lot of starts by rookie pitchers, more than any other team. Tonight is the 77th game where a rookie has started a ball game.
And I tell you what, to hear that stat, you're thinking, wow, this is a rebuilding year. This is a team that might be better in the future. But what they've done is amazing from where they were and what they've done it with young kids.
Now, no team has ever made it to the postseason with rookies making that many starts. Yeah. But they've got some quality rookie pitchers.
You have to go back to 1952 when the Brooklyn Dodgers started rookie pitchers 69 times during the regular season. That's the most for any team in a year they made the postseason. But back then, only the first place team made it. Alex punches one to right field, and it's foul.
And you went directly to the World Series.
If you look at where that's gone in 1990, the first World Series how big the playoff was. We ended up beating Pittsburgh, then going to the World Series. Then you come to New York. Then there's another series in between. And now this year there's going to be that wild card game. So it keeps building and building. What's going to make it harder year by year. Another good changeup from Parker to get to that World Series and win.
People who don't remember 1952, the Yankees won the World Series. They beat the Dodgers that year. There's that changeup. Man, he sells it like a fastball, doesn't he? But it just doesn't get there with the same speed. Good arm motion.
Here's Granderson, and he swings at the first pitch. Now that's got to be a scouting report thing, right, Paul? That they're saying he's throwing fastball strikes.
He doesn't walk a lot of guys. You don't want to get behind in the count. He starts a lot of guys off with fastballs, especially first time through the lineup. And if you watch his motion, and he really hides the baseball, so you can't see that grip on the changeup. Even as a hitter, a lot of times if they show that baseball real quick, you can see that changeup grip, and he hides it very well.
Oh, nothing but strikes here. Count 0-2.
Watch how his arm drops behind him.
Yeah, see, everything is hidden back in there, and you just don't see the grip on the ball as a hitter. Whoa.
With visitation right there.
He hit that one, too. That's the thing. Now as a hitter, you think, I haven't seen this changeup. I better really stay in there.
Swing and a miss.
Changeup.
3 strikeouts for Parker.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, this is really the tale of these two teams. A lot of strikeouts, a lot of home runs. And so far, this has been the MO for all the hitters. They've gotten behind in the count. That is such a good changeup.
He's not the only young A that has changeups. Just about the whole staff features them.
I mean, if you look at that grip, I mean, it was a circle changeup, and it looks like he almost throws it back into the middle 2 fingers, which is a really strange grip for a changeup. see that he's really dug that ball back inside, but he still has the circle for the changeup. Threw the pitch a few years ago. They called it the Vulcan or something like that, where they stuck it into the two fingers.
That kind of looked like it a little bit. Although, you know, sometimes if you concentrate on the release point, you can see a different grip on the ball, and that would tell you right away it's not a fastball.
Exactly.
So stay back. And you get right to the top here, but he does a good job of hiding the ball to that point. So, you know, pitchers that would show you their arm coming through, and sometimes pitchers give away the changes. They slow down their motion. You can see it that way, but he doesn't do that. His motion is he repeats it.
Grounded to third, Donaldson. And he gets Martin. And 6 up, 6 down for the Yankees against the youngster Parker. We're going to the third. There's no score. West Coast matchup with the surprising A's. Series coverage continues on Yes starting tomorrow at 12:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame. It is only on Yes. So far through 2, it's been about the pitchers, Sabathia and Parker.
Nothing's changed in that box score from when we started. A lot of zeros.
A lot of zeros. Here's Stephen Drew. There's a strike. No, he missed outside. Apologies, 1-0. Stephen Drew was supposed to be great, and he never reached those heights with the Diamondbacks, and that's why he was acquired, or able to be acquired, on August 20th by the A's.
One of the things that have changed since they acquired Drew is defense. They're turning double plays better. And pitching, especially young pitching, you know, you've got to be able to catch the baseball. You've got to be able to turn double plays. Defense a big part of close games.
Here's the 2-0. Right back to Sabathia. One away. As we move along this inning, you'll see the out-of-town scoreboard on the bottom of the screen. Stay healthy, get well, and live better with Emblem Health. Visit whatcarefeelslike.com.
Speaking of scores, did we get a chance last night to congratulate the Washington Nationals and the Cincinnati Reds for making the playoffs?
I know we did the Nationals, not the Reds.
All right.
I was laying in bed watching the news last night. Boy, they were congratulating the Reds. The whole news was on the Reds last night. And Dusty Baker, you do wish him the best. The manager has been in the hospital the last couple of days.
I believe an irregular heartbeat, right?
Yeah, they actually said it. You know, they're even leaning towards possible pneumonia. So there's a few things going on, but hopefully he was coming back to Cincinnati today.
Yeah, played against Dusty way back when in the Texas League. way back, Mike.
It's a hot, windy league.
I don't even know if Texas was a state then.
They were fighting wars down there then.
Pitch outside to Rosales.
Makes you feel young, right? Oh, listen to this, Michael. We got some friends, okay? So we get a call the other night, and good close friend, the little son, right, is in like 2nd grade. So they're going through baseball cards, okay?
Driven to right field and out of play.
So one of the little kids pulls out and he says, "Look, I got a Paul O'Neill." Well, the other little kid says, "I know them. They're really good friends of my parents." And the little kid looks at him in the face and said, "Is he still alive?" I got a daughter in the high school. I wonder if I'm still alive.
Wow.
Where'd he find the card?
Yeah. It was an old dusty one, I guess.
Foul back, 2-2.
You were talking about the A's making changes. Rosales is one of those players who went back and forth at AAA, back and forth a couple of times. He can play short, 2nd, and 3rd. Tonight he's at 2nd base.
Strike 3. Rosales down looking.
Right now he's back on the bench.
That's right. That's a tough pitch right there. That's that backdoor breaking ball that, as a hitter's eye, never reaches the corner, but the catcher kind of brings it in. It's just you cannot reach it when it's in the hitting area. What do you think, Kenny? Strike?
No.
Yep. Close enough.
This is Dan Bellino. You know, CC is the type of pitcher who could take advantage of that. He's going to get that call.
Pitches inside to Calgill.
Let's put it this way. I wouldn't want it called on me.
No, it's like I said, there's the point that you pick up the pitch and recognize as a hitter where you're going to hit it, which is, 6-8 feet out in front of the plate, where that ball is way off the plate. And it does come in a little bit, but it never reaches the corner.
Grounded to first. Chavez beats Calgill to the bag. Well, Chavez really ranged far to his right, perhaps too far, and it was a foot race between Chavez and Calgill. He had to go into a slide just to make it before Calgill. He's out. Thursday nights, he's a con artist turned FBI consultant on White Collar. It all kicks off October 2nd on My 9. Pitches low and inside to Eric Chavez as we start at the bottom of the third. Parker's retired all 6 Yankees over the first 2 innings. There's a strike.
You see that changeup's not only a strikeout pitch, but he's not afraid to throw it behind in the count. Best changeup you ever saw?
There's a few of them. Andy Messerschmidt, Oil Can Boyd had a good one.
Yeah, he had a good one.
Yeah.
Pedro Martinez is the one that just used to drive me crazy. Frank Viola had a good changeup.
Yeah. You know what though? If you get ahead on the count, and you've seen where he will throw it to get back in the count. In a game like this one where there's no score, if you get behind on the get ahead on the count, I would look for it 2-0 and just stay back and try and put one in the seats.
It's a fair ball. Good play by Norris for the first out.
Well, if the stats run true on this game, it probably will be decided by a home run or two. I mean, both these teams depend on home runs. Lately, obviously, the Yankees have done some other things. They stole, 7 bases the other night in the game. But, you know, if you get back, look at the ERA leaders.
Brought to you
Oakland
by
right there.
Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far. Right back to Parker. He bobbles.
When his shirt
It's in his shirt. It's a shirt hit.
I tell you, when your hot things go well, this is what happens.
Wow.
Oh my goodness! And they're taking the ball out of play.
He's reaching and reaching and can't get it.
You could tell immediately he was going to get it, but then it goes down and you can't get it out.
You know, his best chance was to run over the first and step on the bag.
No. I know one thing. I'd have been blowing some buttons off that shirt.
That's the first hit of the game.
Wow. Remember when El Duque could get the ball out of his glove and he tossed the glove over?
Over to Tino. He threw it to Tino.
Tino caught it too. I mean, like it was hilarious.
It was an out. Wow.
Eduardo Nunez takes outside 1-0. Well, they say you usually see something you've never seen every game, and that I've never seen that.
You know, he should talk to Soriano, learn how to untuck.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you said it facetiously, Paul. You should just rip the buttons off. Just open them like the Hulk and just grab the baseball.
I mean, these things happen so quick in the game that you don't, you're trying to figure out, and you know that clock's going on, and Ichiro's getting down to first base quick.
And it's right there because there's a lot of room between that button and when the word A is across the chest. So that's where the ball slipped in. Chasing Ichiro back.
And Bob Melvin, ex-catcher, obviously saw Ichiro had a couple. Looks like he was going on the first pitch, kind of got caught without a good jump, and ex-catchers can really sniff that out. Try to hold runners close.
2-1.
Looks like he's laughing. Like he's tickling himself. That's amazing.
I had a really bad meal. Runner goes. Grounded foul.
Parker's pretty quick to the plate, but you can see Ichiro just kind of leaning and trying to get a good jump.
Yeah, Norris has only thrown out 5 of 33 who've attempted to steal. So he's only thrown out just a little over 15%. which is below average. But you got to get help from your pitchers too.
Right. You see Ichiro not looking back. That was a dead steal. That wasn't a hit and run.
And there's a change. Nunez swings and misses. Strikeout number 4.
All 4 strikeouts of the swinging variety, and all 4 on this pitch, the changeup. And it's a quality pitch.
You know, a lot of times when you see pitchers having success with off-speed, you know, sliders and things like that, you just figure it's a matter of time before they hang one or get one up. But, you know, if you'll watch his changeup, he's missing low and it's going away from the barrel of the bat. So that's not a pitch that you're going to get hurt on, even if you miss.
Here's Jeter. Grounded to short on the first pitch in the first. Fastball strike.
This would be a good opportunity for Ichiro to try and steal second base. You know, he's a veteran. He's got 25 steals in 30 attempts this year, including his time with the Seattle Mariners. But even if he's thrown out, it means Jeter's going to lead off. And if he makes it, he's in scoring position with Jeter at the plate, who's been one of the best Yankee hitters with runners in scoring position.
I think it also sends a message to the pitcher that, you know, we're going to run on you when you have opportunities, and that's you know, that can get in a pitcher's head.
Well, we got one of the right guys on. He's got a good lead. And as many changeups as he throws, if you guess right and go on a changeup, it makes it even harder for Norris to throw you out. There it is. Good pitch to go on.
There he goes. Go to second. Stolen base.
That's the difference. Changeup didn't get to the plate. He made it close. Norris made it close. If it's a fastball, he gets him. It's a changeup, and that's the difference. Ichiro able to get in there with his 26th stolen base of the year. Norris makes an accurate throw, and Ichiro quickly just got that right foot in there.
Does a good job of that pop-up slide too. So you're almost popping up, you know, when you're getting to the bag, which, you know, kind of shows the umpire that you're already there.
2-1. Fastball strike. 2-2. Yankees have been really great on the bases this month. How good? They've stole 21 bases in September, and they've been caught once. Whoa. Jeter, a .417 hitter with runners in scoring position since July 25th. 325 overall.
Important, though, as a pitcher, that you just don't get into 2-strike counts and throw changeups every time. You have to full hitters too. Good time to throw an inside fastball here. Hasn't shown that in the count. Another changeup.
See, one thing about a pitcher or a hitter facing a pitcher who's got a good changeup, you're always taught to be quick with the bat. It's almost like you're thinking the other way when somebody has a good change. I got to slow down. Got to stay back.
Strike 3. Jeter down looking.
It's a borderline pitch, but that's a fastball. And, you know, you've seen so many changeups. He just lines you up.
No runs a hit. 1 man left. We've played 3 at the stadium. Still looking for a run. It'll be Gomes, Reddick, and Cespedes coming up for the A's against CeCe. Verizon 4G LTE, America's fastest 4G network. Since 1965, what 4 Hall of Famers played at least one season with both the Yankees and the A's?
I got 2.
I got 2 right away. We'll all have all 4 in the bottom of the 4th. Here's Gomes. Popped up. Shallow center. Nunez is there. He'll make the play for the first out.
CeCe's looked very CeCe-like the last 2 innings. He's only had 1 strikeout, not like the first inning when he had 3, but he's gotten through the innings pretty quickly, and he's kept his pitch count down.
Michael, I think a 3rd one just popped.
Really?
I'm going to check it with you. Don't tell me, man.
Yeah. 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 Now we need a 4th.
Good. Now
yeah.
I need a 4th. All right. Give me a little time. Things are just running through my head right now. But once in a while, something good comes up.
Things are always running through that head. The 1-0 to Reddick. Fouled away. 95 miles an hour for CeCe. We have not seen that much from him. And that is a positive sign, obviously. In the first inning, he was throwing 90-91.
First time up, you remember Reddick just missed a couple pitches, and then CeCe did a good job with establishing that fastball in. Ended up getting a strikeout with a breaking ball away. It's amazing how the first at bat of the game, just that fastball in, can really, as a hitter, just you keep reminding yourself, and this is what happens. You commit to that breaking ball away, and it's out of the zone. Another slider.
That's where he got him the first time.
Fouled that off. Sounded like it came right off the end of the bat.
You see Reddick with a lot of movement towards the end of his swing. And it just makes it really hard to wait and pick up what pitch it is, especially from a lefty.
Reddick has slumped in his last 19 games, just 12 hits and 72 at bats. Now 12 for 73. Foul tip held on to by Martin. A strikeout for CeCe.
Reddick thought it might have hit in the dirt, and he looked down at third base coach Mike Gallego, and he just looked back at him. No, we can't argue on this one. It was close, but I believe he got it before it hit the ground.
I don't know. Pretty close.
See, once he looked at Gallego's kind of, nah, I don't know.
He looks like a really young Jason Giambi. Cespedes pops one up. Nunez is there, and he'll make the play for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the Yankee order, starting off with Swisher against Parker. Verizon tells us since 1965, what 4 Hall of Famers played at least one season with both the Yankees and A's? We have Henderson, Catfish, and Reggie, right?
Mm-hmm. Those are the 3 obvious ones.
And the 4th one is Goose.
Oh, I should have known. I would, in my mind, I'm thinking it's got to be a reliever. I did come up with Goose.
Goose played for a lot of teams at the end. He actually was on the same team as Eckersley. Here's Swisher. Pitch is high.
Yesterday, the 7th career grand slam for Nick Swisher.
And his 3rd this year. And the Yankees' 10th, which ties a team record. 3 previous Yankee teams had 10 grand slams.
You know, you said something, Kenny, last night, and I was listening to the broadcast for a while, and I couldn't believe that you said Mattingly, what, he hit 6 that year?
Yep.
And those are the only 6 he hit in his whole career?
That's right.
It was amazing to me. I'd never heard that.
Nick had a little discussion with Dan Bellino. Take a look at the last pitch. Just a little discussion. We're going back to last night, Paul.
Not much to say here. Bases loaded. And Lewis got it right off the bat. Not much better you can do as a hitter, okay?
No, that's the max. Most RBIs you can get one at bat. Yeah, that's a good feeling.
2-2.
C. Parker is doing what we talked about. He's going to his fastball with certain 2-strike counts, and not enough is said about his fastball, which does make his changeup better. It's 95 miles an hour. I mean, that's above average. So you have an above average fastball and a really, really good changeup. It's tough.
Have we seen a curveball or a slider?
Nobody does have him.
Yeah.
He does have him. He's been so good at what he's been doing. He hasn't had to go to his other pitches.
Does he go to the 3-2 changeup? That would show me something leading off an inning. Here's where I'm really sitting on a fastball. Let's see what Mr. Norris has in there. What's he thinking? Yep, here's your fastball.
And here's your long drive to right. Foul.
And the reason why I'm thinking him because he's leading off the inning.
Right.
And the best pitch to control for every pitcher is his fastball. He doesn't want to walk him. But now after that, he has a lot of confidence in his changeup. Still leading off the inning here. The count is still the same. He saw what Swisher did with that one.
Yeah, because you've almost told the hitter, hey, all right, it's 3-2, I'm going to challenge you. But then you hook him foul, and now he's going back to the changeup.
Line base hit.
Good job of staying back by Nick Swisher. Might not have been his best changeup either because he's getting it over the plate. It was right down the middle.
You see Nick Swisher saying changeup, but this one was up. See, that ball stays up in the hitting zone, still hits it off the end of the bat. Good at bat by Nick Swisher.
Swisher standing next to Chris Carter there. We were talking about him during batting, but he's a big man.
He's one of the guys that Chili Davis said you really want to stick around and watch this guy take batting practice. Power-wise, he's got as much as anybody in the American League.
Cano hits one to left field. Cespedes is there. Makes the catch. Tagging is Swisher, but he just draws the throw. Pretty strong throw by Cespedes.
See what happened there. Nick Swisher couldn't get out of the way because he couldn't get off the base. Carter had to catch it, so he had two guys trying to stay in the same spot. You see that pitch from Robbie. You see Nick Swisher going back. Can't get his foot off the base.
A little levity around the bag at first.
That swing to me, though, just tells me that Robbie is just not quite where he wants to be right now. That was a pretty good pitch, and he just didn't get to it. Good pitch to hit, and Robbie's on. I mean, he'll drive that ball.
Boston leads Baltimore 1-0 top of the 4th inning. Tampa Bay 7 and Toronto 0. Bottom of the 3rd. We'll be following those scores throughout the evening. One and one.
I was listening to you on the radio today, Michael. You were talking to Bobby Valentine and flat out asked him, do you miss not being in a pennant race, which is pretty much an obvious question. But his answer to me is, coming in as a manager with what he was handed, you expect the Boston Red Sox at this time of the year to be fighting for a pennant spot. And there's so many bad things have happened there this year.
Yeah, no one could have imagined this.
Yeah, they kind of switched places with the team they're playing tonight.
Yeah.
Yep. 1-1. Alex wraps one into left center field. It is a base hit. Cutting over is Calgill. Fires the ball into second. Moving to third is Swisher. And the Yankees have runners on the corners with one out.
Nick Swisher got a ball up, and Alex got a ball up too. Got in on him, but he stayed level through the zone, and he drove it out to left center field. They were actually playing him to right center field. Calgill had a long way to run just to cut that ball off.
Nick Swisher realizing right away that he had a chance to get the third with just one out.
Talked early in the game how a lot of guys were going after Parker early in the count. Tough pitch right there, didn't get it. You don't want to get into a situation where you can strike out here. Curtis Granderson, is a home run guy, but he has a lot of strikeouts. His first run in early in the count.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a strike. Outside corner, 1-1. Since the start of last year, Granderson leads all major league players with 80 home runs. He's at 39 right now with 93 ribbies. Another strike. 94 inside, 1-2.
It's funny how this at bat has been completely backwards. I mean, he started him off with a changeup, and then he's gone to all fastballs. First time up, fastball early, and then went all changeups.
To me, that last pitch is meant to be out of the strike zone high to see if he would chase. He got it too high, and now he comes back with his changeup.
I'll tell you one thing. If you're a hitter, you're thinking fastball, changeup, fastball, changeup. You forget he does have a curveball. I mean, he throws a curveball down and in here, boy. It's something you haven't seen. You're likely to pull the trigger. Another changeup.
Just got a piece. Well, that lead didn't last as the Orioles now are up 2-1 over the Red Sox, top of the 4th. That little bird has not had much to smile about in 15 years, so finally it does. .57 pitches for Parker. He had a 7-pitch first inning, and then he's been pretty consistent.
4 sevens and win a hand, wouldn't it?
Take my chances.
Yeah.
Huh? Kenny, I heard next year you can't do that.
I think I heard Michael say that a few weeks ago.
Balk, yeah.
They're trying to speed up games, Michael?
I guess they came to the conclusion that's deceiving the runner. 2-2. Line drive. Foul. Over the head of the first baseman, Carter. Fair, but it kept hooking foul.
I think the best thing they could have hoped for is to tip Carter's glove.
Yeah.
Because he's in fair territory. But he didn't get it. Yeah, the ball hooks foul.
You know, as you're watching TV and you're watching this from your couch, it just goes to show you how much the ball moves off the bat. You know, outfield, you seldom see a ball that's straight. Everything's got a hook or slice to it.
2-2. Right in on the hands.
Yep. I think he felt after Granderson pulled that one foul, that changeup, he said, now he's on it, now I'll come in with fastball. And he's late. So you can see the hitters are kind of in between. They're too quick on the changeup and late on the fastball. They got to hope he makes a mistake with one of them. Doesn't get a good fastball off or throws a changeup too hard.
We'll see who's right here. Parker shook him off with the fastball. Granderson does a good job staying with that changeup.
And the throw home, not in time. As Swisher scores on the sac fly by Granderson, then the Yankees have a 1-0 lead.
That was a good changeup. That was a ball that was down, and to me, that just goes to show you if you show a hitter the same pitch, even if it's your best pitch, too many times, they'll make an adjustment. Curtis Granderson had a really good job staying with this low changeup, just driving it to left center field.
It looked like it was headed out of the strike zone, but he just stayed with it.
Can you remember those RBI situations where you pick up pitches and even though they're out of the strike zone, you know you can handle them? And, you know, high fastball that you can pop out to the outfield, or that ball right there you see out of his hands, well, let's put it in play.
And they're going to appeal at third. And they say no, he left in time. Dan Bellino made that call. Let's see. This is synced up. Yep, he left on time. Cespedes has some arm. Martin swings and misses.
Last night, well, Martin grounded to third his first time up. Last night, he had one of those no contact nights, Paul. He had 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. I've been there.
We've all been there. They're just not fun.
Had one of those nights, didn't need a bat. But one of the walks was the leadoff walk, and that was in the 7-run 4th inning. He got it started.
Rounded up the middle. Drew will get Martin, and that'll do it. But the Yankees break through. They get on the board. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We're going to the 5th. It's 1-0 Yankees.
Athlete of the Week. Log on to my9tv.com and click on Athlete of the Week and tell us about them. And look for special reports Friday nights on the 10 o'clock news on My 9 and Sports Extra Sunday nights at 10:30 on Fox 5. Presented by United Healthcare.
New York Lottery scoreboard shows the Yankees up 1-0 on the sac fly by Granderson. Chris Carter will lead off against CC Sabathia. Now, the problem that we've seen from Sabathia of late is that he is giving leads up, which is something that he doesn't do. He's given up leads in each of his last 5 starts. That's the longest streak of his career. He actually did it once before in 2007, so it matches the longest streak, and that was when he did it with the Indians in 2007. No Yankee pitcher has surrendered leads in 6 straight starts since Bob Wickman did it in 1993.
Bob Wickman named in the past.
Now, surrendering leads doesn't mean that you're a bad pitcher. Chris Sale, who's having an unbelievable year, has surrendered leads in 6 straight games. 1-2 to Carter.
But up until recently, he was in the mix for the Cy Young.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. Carter down on strikes.
And between innings, they had Justin Tuck on the screen. He's here from they had a big win last night, so he was down on the field before the game. And Kenny, you remember what size jersey you wore when you played?
Ooh, maybe a 44.
44. That's what I was. Yeah. I was a 44. That man right there is wearing a 56.
Wow.
It's like he still has his shoulder pads on, yeah? 56.
And that's not the number on the back of it. That's the size.
There's Josh Donaldson. And there's a strike from CeCe.
Is it a special order?
I don't know if Robbie keeps too many of those in the clubhouse.
I bet you CeCe's about that size.
I don't know. Maybe they just fill it out a little different. I don't know. Justin Tuck's a big dude.
Count 1-1.
I know they had a big game last night, but nobody really expected the Giants. And Eli Manning was just off the charts. What a good night. Backups performed very well.
How's your fantasy doing, Michael?
Not bad.
Yeah?
Not bad.
Mine stinks.
The 1-1. Oh, you meant fantasy football. I'm sorry.
Let me wake you up here.
I'm thinking, where are we going here?
The 1-2.
I'm crying here.
2-2. Or 2 out, should I say. Another strikeout for CeCe. Tuck was here because he did the roll call with Bald Vinny out there. And that was to Nick Swisher. Eric Chavez. You see Tuck at Ranger games and Knick games, so he's always around.
Yeah, usually at Giant games, too.
Yeah, he's present most of the time there. It was amazing. The All-Star game was here, and we had that charity softball game, and he played in it. It was the first time I met him. He actually looked like he played baseball before. He was a left-hander. He was, I mean, he didn't look uncoordinated with a softball and a glove. He's a good athlete all around.
Remember taking batting practice and football players would show up. I mean, big, strong guy. Then they wouldn't want to get in the cage and take batting practice.
It's unbelievable because you just assume that everybody can hit a little batting practice, and it's amazing how some guys just it's not going to happen.
Of course,
you know where I'm coming from, Michael?
Yeah.
Of course, I wouldn't want to line up across them either. You know.
No. I've always believed, and get an argument for sure, it's the hardest single thing to do in sports, to hit a baseball.
It's going 95 plus.
It has a little hook to it.
But in batting practice, they want you to hit the ball.
Right.
The 2-1. Ground and foul. Just want to remind everybody, purple tie. Today is Alzheimer's Awareness Day around the world. An insidious disease. Find out about it. Every 68 seconds, somebody in the world has Alzheimer's disease. And it's going to become an epidemic in this world. So look into it and donate and try to get a cure for it. Alzheimer's Awareness Day today.
Research.
2-2.
It's amazing how you talk about it, Michael, and you know, as we age and your parents and things like that, there's not too many people that you don't meet that are affected in some way or another by this disease.
Unfortunately, I was touched by it, and it's just the worst. CC deals the 3-2. Still 3-2. CC with 7 strikeouts and 1 walk in this game.
You know, it's funny because some players in the old days, you know, Kenny, when everybody was clean shaven and stuff, you could tell the guys that were looking towards the off season. Norris looks like one of those guys that started in September that had no chance. He's ready for the fishing trip as soon as the season's over. But, you know, they're in such a good position for this wild card.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8 for Sabathia, and he strikes out the side. First, Chris Carter. Then, Josh Donaldson. How about a little Derek Norris? He goes down on strikes. 8 Ks for CeCe. When the Yankees take on the A's, the first 18,000 guests 14 and younger receive a Yankees fan ring courtesy of Manfredi Jewels. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Chavez grounds out to first for the first out.
I hated that when I was batting left-handed. You hit one like that, Paul, you're just
terrible.
Hoping it would go foul.
Trying to steer that thing to hit a rock, do anything to go foul.
Get foul.
And then every once in a while, as it starts to drift, you're like, hit the base, do anything. Every once in a while, if it hits the base, you can get a cheap hit.
1-0 Yankees on the scoreboard, brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Pitches outside to Ichiro. 1-0.
About that lottery, Michael. Last time I was in town, we were talking. You said don't even play it unless he gets like 100 or 200 million, right? You don't want any of the penny ante stuff.
It gets my attention when it gets to 3 digits. Yeah. Ichiro with a fly ball down the left field line, and boy, is he hot. He's going for 2.
What a play.
And he is going to get hung up.
Whoa, he doesn't know where he's going.
He's going back to the dugout with the second out.
I tell you what, a great play. This bet is out in left field. He barehanded this ball. You know he's got a great arm. You know, off the bat, Ichiro's trying to steer this thing fair.
You know, out of the box, he might have had a chance. I think he was trying to make up for lost time. And, you know, the rules, you go out of the line, he's out already. Didn't have to tag him.
Yeah, usually when you run onto the infield grass, that's usually an indication if you're running that you've kind of gone out of the base pad.
That's a single, and he is out trying to stretch 7-4. Here's Eduardo Nunez. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Yankees lead 1-0. And he wants Norris to go through the signs again.
Most left fielders will come in and just assume that those little dunkers are you know, doubles. And suspect it ricocheted off his glove, but it went right to his hand. And without even winding up, threw a bullet over there to second base.
That's a strike, as he did not pull back.
See, that comes right up, and he gets rid of it just like an infielder. Just really, really heads up play.
Where are you going?
Rounded to short. Steven Drew. Wow, was Nunez hustling down the line and made it very close, but Drew gunned him down for the final out. No runs a hit, and nobody left on base. We're going to the 6th. It's 1-0 Yankees, but Nunez wanted to keep this inning alive, but he just got thrown out for the final out of the inning.
Only one of them is different than the others. See if you can pick it out. He's been dealing. That's right. 7 of them are swinging. Only Adam Rosales was called out on strikes.
All right, we go to the top of the 6th inning. The A's have had one base runner, and that was a walk by Johnny Gomes with 1 out in the first inning. 8 strikeouts and that 1 walk for Sabathia. And here's Stephen Drew. 1-0. Pretty amazing. Steven's brother Tim and JD, all first-round draft picks. One family. There's a strike. No one ever questioned JD Drew's talent, but they wondered whether he loved the game enough, and that's never been a question with Stephen Drew. But he has not produced as much as JD did. The 1-1. 2-1. Steven, 7 seasons, first round 2004, 15th overall. JD, 14 seasons, 98 first round, 5th overall. Tim, 5 seasons, 28th overall in 97. That's some good genes.
Imagine mom and dad went to a few games in the summer in those early days, huh?
They drove him around the Little League games, I bet.
Yeah.
Line drive, a base hit to center field, so Drew breaks up the no-hitter. And the crowd will give CC a hand.
First of all, Drew got a hit on the count. And wow, that was a pretty good pitch that he hit. And he hit it the way you should. Down and away, hit it back through the middle. Or to the opposite field, and he got himself a base hit.
But again, Kenny, you go back to you're leading off an inning, pitcher gets behind you, you can pretty much look for a fastball.
Rosales hits one deep to right field. Swisher back on the track will make the play in the corner for the first out.
Got in on him a little bit, obviously, as a hitter. Anytime you hit the ball down the line, you've got a chance here in the new Yankee Stadium. And CC got the ball in just on his hands.
You had a chance in the old Yankee Stadium, too.
Yeah.
Heading that direction.
Something about that right field pole that kind of shows that when you go in that batter's box, you can see those foul poles because they're really close.
There's a strike. As we move along this inning, take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard on the bottom of your TV screen. And it's brought to you by Chase. Take a step forward with Chase Quick Pay by sending money as easily as sending an email. Right back to Sabathia. He'll go to second. He gets one. On to first. Not in time. What a quick release there by Cano.
The ball was not hit very hard, and you saw the speed of Cowgill going down the line. It's going to be tough to double him up.
You can hear this doesn't have a good sound. Broken bat. To Hopper back to the pitcher. CC does the right thing in getting the first out. Robbie's so good that he just gives it a shot anyway.
There's a strike. Count 0-1.
Up until the base hit by Drew, Gomes had been the only base runner with the walk in the first inning.
In the pregame, we showed some of CC's last starts, and you saw some, kind of mediocre fastballs out over the middle of the plate. A couple of them hit for home runs. CC's been sharp tonight. He's had a good fastball, had a good breaking ball. It seems to me when he has his good breaking ball is when everything else kind of falls in place. in the old days, I remember facing him with the Cleveland Indians. I mean, he was pretty much 90% fastballs. He would just hump back and try to throw that fastball by in. He's a much different pitcher now. With a breaking ball.
He's got a variety of ways of getting you out. Let's put it that way, yeah.
The rain out early in the week gave CC an extra day's rest. Looks a little bit stronger today. One, two. Strike three. Guns now looking. Strikeout number 9 for Sabathia. No run. The first hit of the game for the Oakland A's. No errors and 1 man left on base. CC is dealing. 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, and a 1-0 Yankee lead. It all starts at 8 p.m. as the Bombers head west to face Joe Mauer and the Twins. Yankees Twins Tuesday at 8 p.m. here on My 9. Bottom of the 6th, Derek Jeter leads off. Grounded up the middle, and you know what that is? It's a 15-game hitting streak for the captain. The hits just keep on coming.
Well, I mentioned this the other night. His career high is 219 hits back in 1999. He partied that year. He might party this year because he has a chance to pass it. This is hit number 203 for Derek Jeter this year.
Swisher, sky high pop up. And the catch is made by Donaldson for the first out.
Man, that was up there.
Derek Jeter, and I mean, some of the things that he's done this year, I mean, you kind of take for granted because he's done it in the past, but you know, to do what he's doing this year, I mean, he's added power to it. He's 15 home runs, hitting in the 320s day after day, consistent shortstop, and you threw out the hits number so far. Leading the league in hits.
Leading the major leagues. Wow.
Pretty impressive.
Made some news yesterday at an interview with Rick Riley where Rick Riley asked him about, can you believe Peyton Manning, after 14 years with the Colts, playing for the Broncos? And he said, well, I could see it happening. He said, you know, you have to know it's a business. He said, if I wanted to continue to play and the Yankees didn't want me, he said, I'd have to play for another team. And today, he clarified his comments. He could not believe it was on the front page of the Daily News. He said, I don't want to play anywhere else but here. I want to play with the Yankees. That's it. He said, but what I said was, if they didn't want me anymore and I wanted to play, well, what would my choice be? Go home?
Go play American Legion? No,
he said, but I want to be here.
That's what you guys do in the media, Michael. Turn those words around.
You know what? You are the media now. So you just pipe down.
I'm turning the tables here.
Michael, did you ever read the book North Dallas 40?
Yes.
Yeah, and I saw the movie as well. But in the book, there was one of the football players was talking to another one, and he said, when the furniture gets old, they get new furniture, which means when you get to be an older player, they go out and get younger players.
Does that count the booth up here too, Michael?
No, you can stay here until you're Methuselah.
But
just become an antique and you're cool, right?
I read that book while I was still playing, but I remembered that chapter or those few lines in the book, and you know, it comes true for all players.
Yeah.
You know what? My wife lives by that too. Right?
Yours too.
Yeah. Furniture gets old, get new furniture. You know, I'm getting a little older too. You know.
That one's grounded to short. There's one, and there's two. An inning-ending double play. We've got ourselves a real pitcher's duel. Through 6 innings, it's 1-0. 1 run in this game. The Yankees got it in the 4th inning. We're going to the 7th. CeCe's been dealing. Visit VWDealer.com. 1 hit, everybody. 1.
Look at all those Ks. Wow.
Stephen Drew with that hit. And that's the only hit. And that was leading off the 6th inning. And the walk to Johnny Gomes in the 1st. So CeCe pitching like the ace the Yankees need him to pitch like. Prudential scoreboard shows the Yankees up 1-0. Josh Reddick is going to lead off. Now, we mentioned when Reddick was in the dugout how much he looked like Jason Giambi. We actually found tape of Jason Giambi getting his first big league hit, and it's amazing. Even at the plate, he looks like Jason Giambi. So that doesn't look so much like him in that picture. That was Gomes anyway. That's why it doesn't look like him. I took a second look. I said, that's not Josh Reddick. Anyway, this looks just like Josh. That's young Jason Giambi getting his first big league hit.
Same number, number 16.
Same hair, same mullet.
Isn't that amazing? Those hanging sliders. You get hits way back then on them, too. Reddick's had a tough time with CeCe, and that's the pitch right there that's setting up his batted bats. It's the ball that's keeping him honest inside, which is opening up that outside corner for the breaking ball. I love when the big screen guys play tricks on you, Michael. You're telling the story about Giambi, you flip up and you got Johnny Gomes on the screen.
That's right.
Huh?
3-2.
Here it is. See if you can hit it. Not that time.
There he is. Gomes is gone. There's Gomes.
There's a lot of likeness there, isn't there? Long hair, bald. Must be the goatees.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 10 for Sabathia. New York Yankees baseball on My 9 is brought to you in part by Time Warner Cable. Enjoy all the things you love better. TV, internet, home phone from Time Warner Cable. Your Tri-State Ford dealers. And by Prudential. Bring your challenges.
He's hit 96, 95. I mean, he's had good pop on a good life on his fastball.
Swings and misses.
And he will face Cespedes, who struck out and popped to short. Ten strikeouts tonight for CeCe, his most since August 3rd when he did it against Seattle.
If you look up and down this lineup, I mean, this is the one guy that really looks like he can even have a good at bat off CeCe right now. So it's one guy that you want to try to be careful with.
Change up.
Cespedes is a dead fastball hitter. You can tell by the way his approach is, and CeCe Sabathia just took a little bit off of that. Causes the bat to get through the zone, so you just come around the ball. If anything, you'll hook it foul. If not, you just foul it off. Slider in on the back foot.
It's amazing how one pitch sets up the next one. You know, this is a type of game where you only have a one-run lead. Every pitch is important. How they maneuver, get these hitters out.
And the 2-2. Still 2-2.
Now that pitch was designed to either freeze him or have him think that it was going to be that slider again and not swing at it.
Ball really ties him up inside on his hands. You know, I heard something about Cespedes today before the game that you never hear about an everyday player. You always hear about minor league pitchers. But he's never really played this many games before. I mean, he's never played more than really 90 games. And you always hear about, the minor league pitcher. He's only never thrown over 200 innings or something, so they hold him back. But it comes into play too. I mean, they're giving him days off. They DH him. It's what you're used to, and all of a sudden you add those extra games and those extra, it's just the grind of the season, day after day, that you're not used to.
You know what? It kind of reminds me of college basketball players going into the pro leagues.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're moving and playing a lot more games, traveling a lot more. Of course, you don't have to study, except game film.
Travel's a lot easier, too.
Here's a 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Let's take a look at how they attacked Cespedes, and we'll take a look at the pitch by pitch.
If you watch this is pretty much CC's whole bag of tricks. Backdoor breaking ball, and he kind of cut one in on him. There was the pitch. He took a little bit off. He went another off-speed pitch, and he ties him up in here. All of a sudden, he goes back away. The fastball to get him. So many things going on there, Ken. I can hardly call them.
Yeah, he was
up and down, in and out.
I think he missed the target last one. Cespedes chased it. He's out of there.
Carter takes outside.
CC has struck out every hitter but Stephen Drew in this game.
90 pitches for Sabathia. His season high this year, 12 strikeouts. He has 11 now. Carter fouls out of the way.
The Yankees playing a tight one here, and just looked up on the monitor. Baltimore just took the lead again in Boston. Leaders just hit a double.
And that's in the sixth inning.
The way they win in extra inning games, like 15 in a row,
Yeah.
they might be the only team in baseball plays for a 9-inning tie.
I tell you what, and some of them are in 10, 11 innings. One of them was 18. And
There it is, 3-2. The 2-1. 3-1. And they're making a big deal out of Oakland having its first winning season since 2006. The Orioles are having their first winning season since 1997.
what was the Nationals thing? I thought it was like 1933 or something.
Last time there was a playoff game in D.C.
1933.
3-1. And a walk to Chris Carter. A rare off night for the bullpen. There's been no stirring down there, and not right now yet either. And that place has been a hotbed of activity over the last couple of weeks. But no one up.
The off days are a thing in the past, right? We got 12 more after this, 12 straight.
12 straight. Here's Josh Donaldson. 1-0.
Donaldson has an unusual stat. On Fridays, he's coming into the night, hitting 455. The rest of the other days of the week, he's hitting 201.
Wow.
It's Friday night lights for him.
They should have played football where you play once a week, right?
He's got TGIF.
Everybody's happier on Friday. That's a scientific study. People are happier on Friday.
And miserable on Mondays.
Yeah, you believe it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Blue Monday. Remember that song? Yeah. They're happy on Saturday morning. Don't have to get up.
It's a thing of the past, too. I never understood, with all the school stuff going on now, on a Saturday morning, can't you have the stuff in the afternoon? I mean, why do you have practices at 8 and 9 in the morning? Huh? Am I the only one that thinks of these things? Or everybody else, all the other parents, too?
Line drive. Caught by Eduardo Nunez to end the inning. lightning quick reflexes to the glove side to take away a base hit from Donaldson. It's been that sort of night for CC Sabathia and the Yankees. And here fortune shines on CC. Otherwise, he's been dominant. Donaldson, oh, please. 6.5 innings of play. It's time for the 7th-inning stretch here at Yankee Stadium. Yankees are leading 1-0 behind a great performance by Sabathia. We'll stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now, join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Dealer.com. Not too many hits for the Yankees either. Derek Jeter extended his hitting streak to 15 straight. Nick Swisher scored a run. An RBI by Granderson on a sac fly. Alex Rodriguez had a hit. And 2 hits at the bottom of the order for Ichiro Suzuki. But the Yankees have a 1-0 lead against the youngster Jared Parker. And there it is, 1-0 on the scoreboard, brought to you by Prudential. Bring your challengers.
This is what Oakland's been doing, throwing young guys out there. They've been pitching well. They wait for the big home run. They win a lot of close games, a lot of low-scoring games. So far, CC Sabathia has shut him out. I'll tell you one thing, though, Parker's throwing the ball extremely well.
Ground ball is short. Drew gets A-Rod for the first out. Paul, I got an answer for you on Twitter from @MNigel14. Saturday early practices get the kids out to enjoy their day, and us coaches too.
I mean, you can stay home with the kids, have a nice breakfast, and then enjoy the afternoon too. But all right.
Well, when do you want to have practice? 3 in the afternoon?
Maybe 11.
11?
Yeah. After a good pancake breakfast or something.
That's why parents have to unionize. Just don't take the kids, that's all. If you all didn't do it, they'd change the time.
Yeah, right.
Too late now.
Granderson has driven in the only run in the game with a sac fly. And that was in the 4th inning. This is how it broke down. Swisher led off the inning with a single to right. Cano then hit a fly ball to left for the first out. Alex Rodriguez with a line drive single to left center, moving Swisher to third. And Granderson with a fly ball to left field. And Swisher scored ahead of the throw by Cespedes. And that's it. That's the score.
The shift is on for Granderson. Where he wants to go, the shift's not going to matter.
He wants to hit the ball, Vinny. In the right field bleachers, that's foul back.
Remember hearing Reggie Jackson talking about how high the grass was at Tiger Stadium. Everybody's complaining at Old Tiger Stadium. It's hard to get the ball through the infield. And Reggie said, I want to go where the grass doesn't grow.
He did went off the transformer out there in Detroit. Remember that?
Yeah.
In the All-Star game.
Doggle. Nice catch by a fan in the stands. Got on a Swisher jersey.
Same reaction that Swisher would have, too.
Good play. The 1-2. Swing and a miss.
Good changeup. Man, he has just had that all night. Granderson had one great at bat where he hit a good changeup for a sacrifice fly. Other than that, Parker has just kept that changeup down and out of the zone.
Not only does he change, it just fades away right at the end. So it's doubly tough.
Well, Parker's been impressive, but he's been out-dueled on this night by CC Sabathia. Here's Russell Martin. Pitch outside. 1-0. Line drive caught by Rosales, and that'll do it. So 1-2-3 inning for Parker and the A's. Why don't we go to the 8th? Who's coming up? It's the bottom third of the A's order against Sabathia. Which team would you like to face most in a possible playoff matchup? Is it A, the A's, B, the Orioles, C, the Rangers, D, the Tigers, or E, the White Sox? Text A, B, C, D, or E to 70377 or go to my9tv.com. Find out the results right after the game. It's Take on Russ, brought to you by Toyota. Sabathia with 11 strikeouts, 2 walks. He's allowed 1 hit. That was to Stephen Drew. to lead off the 6th inning. Otherwise, he's been pretty darn good. Yankees have won 5 in a row, and they've been looking for this sort of streak to put some distance between themselves and the Orioles. But the Orioles are leading the Red Sox 4-2 and came into action today, a game behind the Yankees in the East. But if both of them keep winning, they're certainly going to nail down a playoff spot. But there's such an incentive this year, and that was the main reason for the added wild card. You don't want to make it as a wild card and risk your 162 games on one game. You want to make it as a division champion, and you can sit back and see how the wild card shakes out.
Another thing, you see the way CC Sabathia is throwing tonight. You win the division. You have that space, that time off where you can set your rotation up. You can have CC Sabathia ready for game 1, Kuroda, Hughes. I mean, you can put those guys in line.
This will be the 100th pitch of the night for CC.
You know, one thing Michael talked about, that one game. How many games are decided? Not many, but on a fluke. Bad hop, ball lost to the lights, ball lost in the sun. That can happen to you in a one-game playoff.
Wow. You know, it can, Kenny. And looking back at your point and looking at the Oakland A's, I remember we lost a huge game here. And we had to fly all night.
Ground ball to Cano.
Michael, you'll remember we ended up landing in Oakland for game 5, which was, you know, it was a 5-game series. And, you know, a couple hours of sleep, you go to the ballpark. We started a 5 o'clock afternoon game.
Tough to
and
see.
yeah, their center fielder lost a ball in the sun in the first inning. We ended up scoring, what, 3 or 4 runs in the first inning because of a ball lost in the sun?
I think it was a lot more. I think it was 6 runs.
Yeah.
And then they tried to catch up the entire game. You know what I remember most about that trip? I wonder if you did this. I guess everybody got into Oakland. The buses pulled up to the hotel about 6 in the morning. And right next to the hotel was a Carl's Jr. And players started piling in there getting bacon cheeseburgers. And I said, how are they going to play at 5? And they ended up scoring 6 runs in the first inning.
You know,
you need fuel.
It's what happens. You run upstairs and you act like it's still night, and you throw the drapes, and there's a little peak of sun still just telling you that something's not right. The sun is up, and you're supposed to be asleep.
The 1-0. And a base hit. Stephen Drew's the only one who's been able to solve CC. As we move along this inning, on the bottom of the TV, you'll see the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Hyundai. Hurry into your local Hyundai dealers now. The savings at every turn sales event and great prices end October 1st. So 2 hits for Drew, 2 hits for the A's. Here's Adam Rosales. One nothing Yankees lead. We're on the top of the 8th. Pitch inside. No one warming in the Yankee bullpen.
You talk about a day off where a bullpen doesn't have to come in and relieve the starter, but it's the times that guys get up too. I mean, we haven't seen anybody up in the bullpen. Soriano, or if he can finish this game by himself, you've given that whole bullpen a night where they didn't even have to get up and warm up, and that's a day off. Not times where you've been up 3 or 4 times but don't get into the game.
Line drive center field. Coming on is Granderson. He makes the play.
And this is one of the nights CC Sabathia has been very good, but he's also had a couple breaks. The balls that have been hit hard right at Nunez last inning, Granderson this inning. Tougher to play than it looks. That ball is right at you, and you can't get to the side of it, and it's very hard to read which way it's going to go.
Now, one thing you have to realize, this is a sparkling performance by CC, made even more special by the fact that the A's are one of the hottest teams in baseball. Their record since the All-Star break is eye-opening, 42-21. This is a really good team that can hit, and they can hit the ball out of the park, and he has shut down this lineup. You know, it's hard to celebrate when you sweep the Blue Jays because they're just a shell of themselves. It's a AAA team. But the A's, to shut down this team is pretty special.
The A's, I mean, they're not out of the woods. They're going through the toughest scheduling of the year for them. I mean, they just came from Detroit, who's playing for all the marbles right now. Then they come into New York for 3. Then they go to Texas for 4. And then I think they end up the season with Texas. So, I mean, their scheduling is not good from here on out.
But they do have it in their own hands whether or not they catch Texas.
7 games left for them. And they're also in a stretch now where they have 17 of 20 games on the road.
Yeah, not a favorable schedule. And that happens with them a lot because the Raiders play in their ballpark. Crowd looking for a strikeout. It would be the 12th for CeCe. That's his season high. Calgill checks his swing. And the A's have dominated in games like this. They've won 14 of their last 17 one-run games. Bob Melvin's done a great job. Second lowest payroll in baseball after the San Diego Padres. And the 2-2. Grounded softly to short. Nunez fires the first, not in time. Calgill beat it out. He's got speed.
Yeah, we told you he could run. And that speed's going to keep the inning going. Kind of an emergency swing. You saw Nunez lay back and let the ball come to him a little bit. That's one of those ones where you charge it and throw on the run. We've seen Jeter do it. Get rid of the ball quickly. You go get the ball. Don't let it come to you.
Very close.
Very close at first base. We'll get another look here. Yep, he beat it.
Just barely. Fielding Culbreth with the call. Here's Johnny Gomes. And that hit Gomes, and that'll load the bases.
Wow, how quick this has happened. Larry Rothschild, you go out and you tell CeCe Sabathia, you know, you look around, but look, you've got 2 outs. You're 1 big out away from getting out of this thing.
He's got a hitter come to the plate that he has struck out 3 times tonight. So he has worked Reddick over.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. David Robertson, who saved yesterday's game by striking out the side in the 9th inning because Soriano couldn't go after saving 2 games the previous night. He's up again, Robertson. But if Robertson comes on this inning, the lead is gone.
You know Reddick, I mean, you've seen his at-bats. If CeCe Sabathia makes his pitches, throws good strikes, the pitches he wants to make, he'll get Reddick out. If he makes a mistake, Reddick can hurt him.
Lofted into left field. Ichiro is there, and he'll make the play. He made his pitch and got out of the jam. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and the bases are left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 1-0 Yanks.
The young man's life and how he's paying it forward today on the Verizon Fios game wrap-up tonight on the 10 o'clock news on My 9.
Chavez fouls the first pitch from Parker away. 0-1. So CeCe wiggles out of trouble in the top of the 8th. And the Yankees hold on to a 1-0 lead. Paul, you impressed with Parker?
I really am. I mean, and coming into the game, you heard about, he had a 4-pitch. He's been a 2-pitch pitcher tonight. His changeup has been so good, and his fastball's been good enough. With the changeup, he got up in the zone, but here he is in a 1-0 game.
So Reddick makes the play. Hey, Yankee fans, with just a few games remaining on the home schedule, the Yankees have made it easier than ever for you to have access to the best ticket offers available. All you have to do is text the word CHASE, C-H-A-S-E, to 89269 to receive special ticket offers and other Yankees marketing alerts. Message and data rates may apply. Here's Ichiro. He is 2 for 2. 2 of the Yankees' 5 hits. He's had 11 hits in the last 4 games. 11 for his last 15, and Soriano's getting ready. He got a base hit into the shirt of Jared Parker in the 3rd. No kidding, he did. The old hidden ball trick. And then in the 5th, he dunked a single down the left field line and got thrown out trying to stretch it into 2. Came into this game hitting .321 as a Yankee, so that number's certainly gone up. He's at .281 overall. And when the Yankees acquired him on July 23rd, you didn't know what he had left, but he seems to be re-energized by being in a pennant race for the first time since 2001, his rookie season with Seattle.
We haven't seen Ichiro lately miss too many pitches. He had a good pitch to hit there and just fouled it back. But, every once in a while, you're looking at a hitter that's swinging a magic wand. If he puts it in play, it's a hit right now.
Sean Doolittle, who is up in the A's bullpen. And the 1-2.
Look out.
2-2.
Ooh, right under the bill of the cap. I mean the helmet. This is real time. You don't have much time.
And another one of those plays that on TV or on the couch you don't realize how quick that happens.
Served in the left field, coming on Cespedes, and he'll make the play for the 2nd out.
You got less than 1/10 of a second.
New York Yankees baseball on My 9 is brought to you in part by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. So Jared Parker does not want to be one of those pitchers that pitches a complete game on the road, and that means just 8 innings, because there's no bottom of the 9th if your team doesn't tie the score. Nunez takes a pitch in the dirt.
Another guy, Jared Parker, career record at 11-8. Record this year, 11-8. I mean, he has not put up numbers till this year.
Hammered down the left field line, foul. One 0 Yankees. Ground ball through for a base hit. So Nunez 1 for 3. A 2-out single here in the 8th.
Nunez is going to go, and he's going to go early in the count.
You can really see Nunez just becoming a really good hitter. I mean, it's a guy that if he got 500 at-bats could throw up a lot of hits and make a lot of good things happen, because he can also run the bases.
Stolen 10 out of 12. going to throw over again, too. He usually does go early. He's not wasting much time.
Young guys, they want, they get on base, they get excited, they want to run. They don't want to hold them back. Throw to the plate, let me try to steal.
Pitch to Jeter, it is a strike.
Drives you crazy as a hitter as you give that guy an opportunity to steal, and then the next thing you know, you're behind in the count.
That was the 100th pitch for Parker.
One guy that has continually thrown a lot of fastballs to tonight is Derek Jeter. Got him a strikeout early in the game. Derek led off an inning with a hit on the fastball. And a couple fastballs this inning, too.
Runner goes. Throw to second. It goes into center field, but backed up nicely by Drew. A stolen base for Nunez. And the pitch to Jeter was low, 2-1 now.
Well, the third pitch he's going. Well, he's not even hesitating, not even looking. He is headed for second base.
Good throw, might have had him.
11 out of 13 now.
Two and two. Two. And struck him out. Foul tip and held on to by Norris. And what a performance by Jared Parker. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left. It's 1-0 Yankees, and they'll bring in Soriano to try to close it out. Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. And by Chase, take a step forward with Chase Quick Pay by sending money as easily as sending an email. Well, the story of this game was CC Sabathia. And his night is over as Joe Girardi makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed, internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. Soriano has been outstanding, an ERA under 2, 42 saves and 45 opportunities. But Yankee fans have been waiting for this type of performance from CC, an ace performance, and he has given them that. Now he turns it over to the closer to try to close it out.
Well, you look at CC Sabathia, a little bit better. See Dickerson out in left field, but you know, mid-90s fastball. Ichiro moved over to right field. So have you gone to the defensive lineup trying to just close this one out?
And he will face Cespedes to open up the ninth. Starts him off with a breaking ball strike. And also Nick Swisher moves from right field to first base as they take Chavez out for defense. A-Rod is deep at third and very close to the line. No doubles defense right now. That one is driven deep to left center field. Going back, Granderson, and he makes the play right near the wall.
Soriano just got away with one, just enough off the end of the bat. So the ball break away just at the end. Kept it in the park.
There's a lot of ballparks in this league that might have been a home run.
Oh, yeah.
That's how close he was to the wall.
Total turnaround of the Oakland A's, and in my mind, or your mind, Kenny, I'm asking you, is it Bob Melvin or is it Billy Beane who gets all the credit for bringing new guys in here? Because there's a change where these guys look like they take the field believing they can win.
There should be an organizational thing where everybody gets a little pat on the back, and then
Brandon Moss pinch hitting for Carter.
Keep everybody happy.
Say you don't see a perfect quick fix like you've seen here very often in the major leagues. Usually it's a progressive thing. You know, year by year you improve a little bit.
They made some nice deals. They got Parker from the Diamondbacks. That was a good trade. So, you know, Billy Beane, way to go. A nice deal.
I mean, they traded their catcher in the middle of the year where, I mean, they were starting to play better. I mean, that's a big gamble. So, I mean, there are times that you just take a chance and you try to do things that they're going to help your organization.
Moss fouls it off.
Well, that's a dangerous pitch to lefties right there. You can't miss very much with that pitch right there. That ball was just low enough that you can't elevate it. See Parker looking on over there, hoping that somehow they can score. He threw a great game. There it is. He
high
missed.
Fly ball, right field. There it goes. See ya. A pinch hit, game tying home run for Brandon Moss. And just like that, it's a 1-1 game.
It's the same pitch, Kenny, and he just missed a little bit with that. And a left-handed hitter, you cannot miss with a spinning slider. Very dangerous pitch late in the game to a left-hander. I mean, this is the first one you see. This ends up down out of the zone. And this next one just hangs a little bit. And it's a difference in a ground ball and a home run, especially back-to-back pitches.
He'd been better off if he had bounced it.
Yep.
So just like that, CC's good work is done. And the fourth blown save of the year for Soriano. That quieted the crowd. The 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1. So Bob Melvin pushed the right button, sending up Moss to Carter.
That's his 19th home run of the year.
Count 1-2. Soriano knew it when he wanted to look. And Parker wanted to look. The 1-2. 2-2.
He almost walked into one, didn't he? He was trying to get to that outside corner. Had to reverse the engines.
These are the type of the games that the Oakland A's have had fun with all year. Just coming back at the end, crazy hits. You don't get a lot of pinch hit home runs in the 9th inning to tie teams, winning teams' records up with a closer who's done a great job. Bob Melvin's not surprised. I mean, you start believing these things are going to happen.
Yankees just 2 outs away from celebrating a victory, but then that home run has tied the game. The 2-2. Popped up. Long run for A-Rod and Martin. And Martin makes the play. What a play by Russell Martin.
Russell Martin makes a great play. Hard play for a catcher. He went a long way to get to that ball.
Like a waiter with a tray, wasn't he? Just held it out there. The ball fell in it right near the dugout.
You got to realize what happened in that play. I mean, here's Russell Martin in a squatting catcher's position with a mask on. First of all, you've got to get up, get that mask off, find the ball, and get over to where he got to. I mean, a great play.
You almost were surprised that Alex wasn't there. It looked like it was more his play, but Martin kept coming. Pitches outside to Derek Norris.
Those screens and fences and walls, they always make that play a little bit harder, okay?
Didn't used to be those things. I think it was harder then.
Go flying into the dugout.
Yeah, they weren't going to help you either.
Nope. That was almost a team rule. You catch your guys and let their guys fall. It's kind of changed, though.
Top of the 8th inning, Orioles lead the Red Sox 4-2 at Fenway Park. Remember something Curtis Granderson said about scoreboard watching at Fenway Park when the Yankees were just there. He said, you can't help but watch it. He said, because you can hear the numbers slide down. He said, you hear that and you turn around and you know that the score has changed. The manual scoreboard. There's a strike. 2-2 to Derek Norris.
You know what? This isn't going to show up on CC Sabathia's win-loss record, and he's far beyond that for the career that he's had. But I mean, a really, really good start for him, coming off of 3 consecutive losses. Great fastball, good breaking ball.
The 2-2.
Every once in a while, as a hitter, you kind of get like a makeup call from an umpire from the pitch before that you thought, it might have been a ball, and then maybe you think this one's a strike. Ball clearly away.
And a walk to Norris. And now Larry Rothschild comes out to talk with Soriano. Crowd here at the stadium on a Friday night, 40,759. Beginning of this 3-game set. And Coco Crisp, who doesn't have to seed a run, will pinch run despite having pink eye. And that's why he has not played the last couple of games, so he pinch runs for Norris.
You know, and Kenny, in my mind, if you're going to pinch run him here, you might as well let him steal. I mean, you've got 2 outs here. Here's a guy that stole 30-some bases, good base runner. Get a pitch, give him an opportunity to get to second base.
But aren't you supposed to keep dirt out of pink eye?
Yeah, he better slide and don't go ahead first.
Feet first, yeah.
Here's Stephen Drew. He had the only 2 hits against Cease. No, 3 hits. Calgo had one as well. He had 2 of the 3 hits. So Martin will go out and talk with Soriano. If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, you got the hitters coming up that you want. You've got Swisher, Cano, A-Rod, and if anybody gets on, Granderson. Soriano wants to keep it a tie going into the bottom of the 9th.
See, Ty Waller, the first base coach over there for the Oakland Athletics, went over to Coco Crisp after that first move, and I guarantee you've heard it many times here, that's not his best move. You can't fall in love with that cheap move right there, because you know every once in a while they'll throw a good one in there.
Goes, and Martin doesn't handle the ball, so Coco Crisp in there without a throw.
Coco Crisp really leaning there. You could tell he was going, but he got a good jump.
Stolen base number 35. He's only been caught 4 times. That is a great percentage. You can see Russell Martin trying to be too quick. You see that occasionally with infielders trying to get that ball out of the glove on a double play, and they lose it.
So now he's in scoring position with a 2-0 count on Drew.
Up and down this lineup, Drew's really the only guy that had good swings off CC Sabathia tonight. One of the few guys that has put together some good at-bats all night.
Now they're going to intentionally walk him. Ball 4 will be on purpose, and that'll bring up Adam Rosales, and they're going to call him back and send up a pinch hitter.
Looks like it's going to be Seth Smith.
And that is who it is. Now in Oakland, Seth Smith is one of the few guys this year who has touched up Soriano. Dead center.
See the numbers there, 250, 15 home runs. It's basically their player. Almost everybody on the team is in the same spot other than Reddick, who's got 29. Everybody else, you know, mid-teens home runs.
Pitch is low, 1-0.
No 300 hitters. Great pitching, catch the ball. You've got a chance every night.
They got great speed at second for the A's, but you have 3 good arms in the outfield for the Yankees.
That home run by Smith off Soriano tied the game in the 9th inning with 1 out.
And that's what happened with the home run from Moss. Tied the game with 1 out in the 9th. Pitch is high. You can see Soriano's fastball is not as good as it's been. He's been used a lot and was unable to pitch yesterday. And now he's in a jam right here in the 9th with 1st and 2nd. The lead already gone. Tie game. And a 2-0 count on the pinch hitter Smith. There's a strike. The 2-1. Foul back, the fastball, 2-2.
See Russell Martin jumping around back there trying to, change the target, but that ball ended up right down the middle of the plate. Good pitch to hit. Soriano got away with one there.
Two balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Missed low. So now the A's get a break. The runners will go on 3-2 and 2 outs.
Granderson at center moves back a few steps, realizing now he's probably lost the chance to throw a runner out at the plate. So he's going to give Smith a little bit more room because the runners will be going, as Michael said.
There they go. Swung on and missed. Smith strikes out, and Soriano gets out of further trouble. But the damage was done by the pinch hitter Moss. With 1 out in the 9th inning, Moss went into the 2nd deck in right field, and with that swing, tied the game at 1. Now we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Yankees will try to win it.
Steinbrenner saved the young man's life and how he's paying it forward today. That's on the Verizon Fios game wrap-up tonight on the 10 o'clock news on My 9.
Well, the Yankees knew coming into this game that this was a tough opponent. Sean Doolittle will come on, the left-hander. Will face Swisher, Cano, and A-Rod. But this is an A's team that doesn't quit. It's not the A's team that you thought of coming into the season, where it looked like they would probably battle the Seattle Mariners to finish last in the American League West. And you can see some of the grittiness they possess by the pinch hit home run by Moss to tie the game. But the Yankees have a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 9th inning as Sean Doolittle takes over for Jared Parker.
Doolittle has been a very good pitcher out of the bullpen for the A's this year.
As we told you earlier, 85-64, tied with Baltimore for the wild card. 42-21 since the All-Star break. Great in one-run games, 13 walk-off wins, and second in the American League in pitching with a 3.50 ERA. That's what the Yankees are up against in this series as Nick Swisher's working the count 2-0. Popped up. And the catch is made for the first out. Gutierrez, who's taken over behind the plate, makes the play.
Kenny, remember earlier in the game you were talking about that little dribbler that you hope goes foul. You're in the same boat as the hitter there. You know it's going in the stands, and then it just kind of comes straight down the screen.
Here's Robinson Cano. And there's a strike from Doolittle.
I mentioned Doolittle has been very good. Hadn't allowed an earned run in 15 of his 17 appearances since August the 3rd.
Both teams have loaded bullpens. The A's come in with 10 men in the bullpen, 3 lefties and 7 righties. So at this time of the year, extra innings really don't scare you because you got the men, you got the expanded roster.
These type of games don't scare the Oakland A's. I mean, these are the type of games that they've won all year. Melvin very comfortable in these close games where it becomes a pitching duel of bullpens.
He won 4 in a row against the Yankees in Oakland. 1-run wins.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out Cano for the second out in the bottom of the ninth.
Doolittle's got a pretty good fastball. He throws that one right by Cano. And Robbie's just not right now. He's just a little bit off. You could tell on a couple swings earlier. Need him to get hot for, 3 or 4 games to really help this offense. Jeter's swinging the bat well. Ichiro, A-Rod's had some good swings. And if you get Robbie swinging the bat, all of a sudden you start putting up big numbers.
Here's A-Rod against Doolittle. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1.
Yeah, he might have helped him on that one. I thought that was a little high out of the strike zone.
Count 0-2, so Doolittle throwing strikes. Yankees have had 2 walk-off wins this year, one against the Mets in June and one against Detroit in April. And if they're going to win this game tonight, it's going to have to be a walk-off win. Fastball inside, dialed that one up to 96. And the pitch. That's looped into right center field. It's a base hit for A-Rod. Reddick gets the ball in, so that keeps the bottom of the ninth alive.
Ball's up out of the zone and he gets jammed, but if you're level through the zone, and you see Alex does a good job here. He gets out of the box. Makes Reddick come up with this ball cleanly. He rushes him, and if Reddick bobbles that ball at all, A-Rod will cruise into second base.
Here's Granderson. Fouled that one back. Granderson has driven in the Yankees' only run with a sac fly in the 4th inning.
These are the guys in the situations you want. I mean, Granderson leading the team in RBIs with 94.
Swing and a miss.
In Oakland's outfield, it's going to be very hard to even score on a gapper for A-Rod. They're playing so deep. You're playing nothing over your head. Reddick almost on the warning track out here.
I think the book is out on A-Rod. His ability to steal, the 13 out of 14. He picks his spots very well. It's almost like he's trying not to draw attention to himself. Then he takes off and goes.
Swing and a miss. And we go to extra innings. So free baseball here at the stadium as Granderson strikes out for the third time tonight. No runs a hit, no errors, one man left. We go to the 10th inning at the stadium. It's a 1-1 game. A's and the Yanks. Perfect victory with CC Sabathia turning in an ace-like performance, but a pinch hit home run by Moss against Soriano tied the game at 1, and now we go to the top of the 10th inning, and a new Yankee pitcher is David Robertson taking over for Soriano. (1-7) record, 2.93 ERA, 74 strikeouts and 55 in the third innings pitched.
Yeah, Robertson made an appearance yesterday and actually picked up a save, his second of the year. And the Yankees 10-7 win over the Jays. He pitched the top of the 9th inning, 3 strikeouts.
It's going to be Cliff Pennington, who came in for defense in the bottom of the 9th. He's going to lead off. So Pennington, Gomes, and Reddick against Robertson.
Pennington actually started the year as the shortstop for the A's. Didn't do much offensively. They started looking around. They got Steven Drew. Pennington's played a little second base now.
Count 1-1. Count 1-2. It's amazing how a game could change in an eye blink. Where the Yankee bullpen was going to get a nice solid rest, and now you've already used Soriano, you're using Robertson, Boone Logan is up, and all the guys I thought they were going to get a comfortable night off, they might have to be used. High fly ball, center field. Granderson is there, and he'll make the play for the first out. Top of the ninth inning at Fenway Park, and the Orioles lead the Red Sox 4-2. By now, you know the Orioles a game behind the Yankees in the American League East entering tonight's play. And the Orioles and the A's are tied for the wild card, the two wild cards. Here's Johnny Gomes. Walk. Popped to short, struck out, and is hit by a pitch. That breaking ball's low, 1-0.
You talked earlier in the game, Michael. Johnny Gomes does most of his damage off of left-handed pitchers. Robertson's got to know that. Go right after him.
He's not gotten as many. His reputation has preceded him now. Now he doesn't get as many opportunities against the righties.
Yankees have been in 6 extra inning games this year. They've split them 3-3. The A's 12 extra inning games, and they're 9-3.
Amazing. You take away extra inning games, and the A's aren't winning the wild card. They've been that good in late heroics and winning these games.
3-0. You could say the same thing about Baltimore. Right. 15-2 in extra inning games, and they've won their last 15 in a row.
Yeah, I think the last one they lost was to the Yankees early in the season.
And a strike, 3-2.
In the old days, Kenny, as a right-handed hitter, you're thinking home run, extra innings. You're thinking about pulling. In the new Yankee Stadium, I mean, you don't have to look for a ball to pull.
That one is driven out to right center field. Drifting over is Granderson for the second out.
You think about like the speed slotter there that is the gap in right center field. So a lot of right-handed hitters try to shoot that ball the other way.
Looking for something out over the plate.
Well, here's Reddick. Struck out 3 times. Came up in the 8th inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs. A's were still down 1-0 at that point, and he lofted a fly ball to left field to end the inning.
CC Sabathia really just kept him off balance by pitching him in hard and then throwing the breaking ball away. Now he's going to get a look at a right-hander, which is much more comfortable.
We're here right now because of that man who had a pinch hit home run against Soriano, Brandon Moss.
Looking out at the A's bullpen, somebody's throwing leisurely. I don't know if he's ready or just staying loose. But just starting.
1-2. believe that's their closer, Brandon Salfor, so he's getting ready in case the A's score here. Robertson deals the 1-2. 2-2.
Okay, Kenny, I think this is one guy that you really have to stay away. You got to make him use left center field. And he's had some tough at-bats off the CC all night. He'll be much more comfortable, be more careful as a right-handed pitcher.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 4 strikeouts tonight for Reddick, so he has the golden sombrero. And the Yankees get a 1-2-3 inning and another chance to win it in the bottom of the 10th. Russell Martin will lead it off.
Sabathia did the job tonight. 8 strong innings against the A's hitters. He was in line for a win. And he was in line for a win because the Yankees had a 1-0 lead. It was a sacrifice fly off the bat of Curtis Granderson that scored Nick Swisher to give the Yankees that lead. But Rafael Soriano, with 1 out in the 9th, gives up the home run to Brandon Moss. The pinch hitter ties the game. And we are now in the bottom of the 10th inning. In a 1-1 ball game. That's where we stand. That's your game recap.
7 hits for the Yankees, 4 hits for the A's, and Russell Martin will lead it off. Doolittle still in there. Grounded foul. That one's driven deep to left field. Going back, Smith, track, wall, see ya, ball game. Russell Martin with a walk-off home run, and the Yankees win 2-1. Well, Russell Martin, who has had a very difficult season, has started to climb out of it offensively, and he hasn't had too many hits bigger than that, Kenny.
Well, that home run is his 18th of the year. It ties as many as he hit all of last season. He got it. He knew it. the Yankees had to win. First of all, he called a heck of a game tonight with CC on the mound, and here it is. You can see that Smith is running out of room, running out of real estate, and the Yankees have a walk-off win. And how apropos is this? Because the A's had 2 walk-off wins against the Yankees in their 4-game series in Oakland, and all 4 of their wins came by 1 run. So sort of payback for what went on out on the West Coast.
Well, it's sort of payback for Russell Martin to put up with what he has all year and battled to come up with some big hits coming down the stretch.
We got a lot to go here on My 9. Yankees with a thrilling nail-biter. They win 2-1 in extra innings. We'll be back.